Hello everyone, I am back at Kitsap Memorial State Park on Hood Canal, a place where I fished many times before. What's different today is I'm actually staying in one of the cabins. There are 4 cabins in the park, and I reserved this one way back in the winter. The reason being, the park only opens at 8 o'clock in the morning, and to give myself the best chance of finding some fish, I want to fish at first light. And the only way to do that is really to be on site. So I arrived here in the middle of a huge rainstorm. It's just stopped raining. I went down to look at the beach a little while ago. It's at real low tide, but I did see shoals of bait fish everywhere, topping and being chased around. So it's looking really good for tomorrow morning. Like I say, I'm going to get up 5 o'clock and fish until about 11. There's a very low tidal exchange tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. So I've been out fishing as much as I can, and I've had very little success so far on Hood Canal. I think I've caught 2 fish, and that's despite trying right from the north end all the way down to the Big Bend, the south end of the canal. And I just have not been coming across any fish. This place is the only place I've consistently seen both bait fish and evidence of some sea runs. So really, I'm getting desperate to catch some fish. So I hope getting up early in the morning is going to give me that chance. So I thought I'd just show you some of the flies I've come with for this trip. I've made a lot of bait fish patterns basically, and some other stuff. So these are designed by Spawn Fly Fish. It's one of their chum-fry patterns, and it's basically made with a micro rabbit zonka strip. It's got some teal flank feathers, and it's got some of their chum-fry semi-seal dubbing on it. So I'm going to give those a try. I've brought some Clauser minnows in chartreuse over white and in pink over olive. Got some more bait fish patterns made just with, this is with mallard flank. I've made some generic bait fish kind of things with all synthetic materials. What else have I got on the other side? Obviously I've got Bob Triggs's Chum Baby in 2 different sizes. That's a must-have if chum fry are around. And I tied some shrimp patterns, again, Spawn Fly Fish. This one's on a little jig hook. You can see it on their YouTube channel. Really like the look of that. Probably won't give that one a go today, but you never know. Oh, here's a nice one. This is called the Gosling, and it's I came across this online. It's an Irish fly, and it's designed actually as a mayfly and mayfly pattern, fished in the Irish still waters in the lochs there, but also very successful as a sea trout pattern in estuaries. And if you look at it, it looks very shrimp-like, and to me it looks like the Knudsen spider. So I've tied up some of those, give those a go. What else? I've got just a bunch of odds and sods, as we say in the UK. So I've got some reverse spiders, I've got Johnson's beach fly here, and go back to the other side, got some Mickey fins, some old Les Johnson, I don't know what they are even, King of the Waters, that's a really old pattern, and that's about it. So hopefully between all those I should find something that the fish like if they're there, and I think they are. Well, it's time for me to get out my my little backpacking stove and cook some stew and have a beer and get an early night, and I will see you on the beach in the morning. I don't know if it's light enough for the camera to see anything. I've been fishing about 5 minutes. I'm using a topwater fly to start with, a Titanic, and I'm getting lots of nibbles from what look like pretty small fish. I'm just not committing to it. But there are some fish here. Oh, there it goes again. Oh. These are basically just fingerlings, I think, around here. Hopefully there's one or two bigger fish amongst them. But the morning is better than I thought it was going to be. There was rain in the forecast, and that has decreased to about a 15% chance. The wind is pretty light. It is from the south, which is over my casting shoulder, so not ideal, but it's really not strong. And as far as the tide goes, if I turn around, you can see there's not much beach. Actually, this is just after low tide. Today, the tidal flow is pretty minimal. I think there's less than 1 foot of difference. So it's going to stay pretty much like this as far as the water depth and so on goes. But here we are, we're fishing. This is definitely the earliest I've ever fished this location, and it's fun, and it means I've probably got the beach to myself for a while. Later on in the day you get lots of dog walkers and kids, which is fine, so long as the kids don't throw rocks, which I understand, I get it. Kids and water, you've got to throw rocks, but they'll come up like 10 feet behind me and their mum won't say a thing. I mean, you don't have to know about fishing to figure that it's not going to be helpful. But I guess live and let live is the code I go by, so yeah, they're not going to be around though. So this is the Titanic I'm fishing. It's an olive one, olive tail as well. It's got a little bit of gold flash in there. This I find to be the colour, and I've tried all kinds, this is the colour that gets the most attention, I find. Well, I'm going to make a change and go to my other rod and fish a subsurface fly. I'm going to start with this chum baby tied on a really tiny hook. See if that does the trick. Right, I'm going to try the spawn chum-fry next. Finally hooked something. It is tiny. Tiny little cutthroat. Perfect. And that was caught on this little spawn fly fish patterned with rabbit. So admittedly that was a very small fish, but I've been having such a difficult time so far this year that quite honestly I'm very grateful to have caught anything at all. I wonder if that is the general stamp of the fish on the beach at the moment. Those little ones could be. One thing I'll do before I forget is check the water temperature. I keep a fishing log where I enter all kinds of data, and so I have this fish pond thermometer, and you know, I don't know what it's worth, but I always check the water temperature. That's 51.8, which is actually warmer than the air temperature right now. Another little cutthroat hooked. Right in the corner. There you go, little fella. That one might be a bit bigger than the last one. I do like the way this spawn fly fish chum-fry pattern looks in the water. It really resembles the chum baby, but it has much more flow to it, and another thing is it stays higher in the water column. It has no weight on it. I've tied it as spawn fly fish suggests on a size 10 hook, and what I'm going to do is put a link to their video if I post this, so you'll be able to see what it is. Really nice fly. In the last quarter of an hour or so, this southerly wind has really picked up. It's a really cold wind, and it's coming right onto my casting shoulder, which makes casting a bit of an adventure, and I have to be careful not to get the fly in my ear. probably won't stay too much longer if it gets any stronger. Another one on. Just really small. This must be one of the smallest sea runs I've ever seen. Don't want to handle him at all. There. This one feels a bit better. No, it's just the same. Come on. There must be some bigger ones out there, you would think. They certainly like this fly. There is another gentleman fly fishing further along the beach. He arrived probably half an hour ago. Usually I'm fishing here alone, but it's nice to see other people. A disgraceful number of wind knots in there. But with the size of fish I'm catching, I'm not worried that I'm going to get broken off, so I think I'll leave it for now. Yet another tiny one. That is actually a salmon parr of some kind. Well, it's time for me to go and check out of my cabin now. I've had a great morning. You know, it's not always about catching the biggest fish or even catching any fish at all. Just being out, you know, having fun. That's what it's all about. That's what I enjoy. So until the next time, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.